Stacy Carter is joining us in studio today. Stacy is our Director of School Safety and Security, and today we're talking about some special curriculum for our students. So Stacy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we have you here because our families have likely seen communication this semester about some new curriculum for our students around some new topics. And so tell us a little bit about where this came from.
Absolutely. So the Texas legislators wrote into some new laws, Senate Bill 9 and Senate Bill 11. And so at the beginning of the semester, they saw some Senate Bill 11 stuff that came out, and that was our Start with Hello week. But going into November, we're really focusing on the Senate Bill 9. And basically, we have to provide instruction to our kids on child abuse, dating violence, sex trafficking, all of those kinds of topics. And so to do that, in our elementary schools, we're implementing the Child Protection Unit, which is a curriculum from Second Step. And then in our secondary schools, we're putting in Play It Safe. And that'll be actually presented by our Children's Advocacy Center here in Lubbock.
Okay, so let's go back to the first one with the Start with Hello. And so tell us a little bit more about what that initiative is about and what the curriculum details are.
So for the Start with Hello, it's Senate Bill 11, and so that's our bullying and suicide prevention. So basically the Start with Hello curriculum was designed to basically get kids talking to each other, and when they see kids sitting alone, to engage with them and have conversations with them, because we don't want kids to feel isolated while they're at school. We really want them to be included and have friend groups of that kind. And so we'll see that again in the spring with our Say Something curriculum as well.
Well, and some of that material also came from the Sandy Hook Promise.
Yes.
And so that's where some of the curriculum is from, just to encourage that talking and being aware of students that may be having issues with bullying or mental health issues.
Exactly.
And then going into the second part, which I think we just sent out in the last week or two, tell us a little bit more about the Child Protection Unit.
So the Child Protection Unit, we have scripted lessons that are pre-K all the way through 5th grade. And basically it's teaching kids just ways to be safe. So just safety in general, from bike safety to not talking to strangers. But then it also goes into talking to kids about safe and unsafe touches, which is really important. And not keeping secrets from their parents and reporting things like that when an adult is asking them to do those kinds of things. So in that curriculum, that's being administered by our school counselors, because they've had extra training on how to handle outcries and things of that nature if a kid makes an outcry at school. But they basically do the curriculum, they walk through some scenarios with the kids, just kind of giving them a foundation to help themselves when they find themselves in a situation that could be unsafe.
Well, and our families may not remember this because it feels like registration was a long time ago, but they did have the opportunity to opt in or opt out of this training. And so if they're curious about that, or if they want to change their selection, how can they do that?
So they can contact our department. We have a spreadsheet for every school, and we basically just look up their students and verify what choice they selected, and then they can change their option at any time. So even if they get into the curriculum and they really don't like the direction it's going, or they don't like a certain lesson that's coming up, they can always call us and opt out at any point.
Well, and that brings up a great question too, because we do have details about what is in these lessons, and where can they find that information?
So they can, we sent the email out, and that also contains some Google forms that they could fill out, because the material is copyright. So we can't just put it on our public facing website, but they can fill out the Google form, and then I email them directly the content that's going to be in every single grade level. So we don't just give them like their kids' grade level, we give them the grade levels before and after, so they can see the whole spectrum of the curriculum that's being presented. And I just email that out to them, and they can see the scripts and the lessons and everything that goes with it.
Well, so we have it all in one place.
Exactly.
Well, Stacy, I know this is important, and it's a lot of information to cram into a short interview, but for more information, they can visit your school website or contact your office, and you can give them all the details.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.